Hey, Hal and Sarge, you remember in the not too distant past, just before science proved science wrong, that the moment just before the curtain was pulled back on the Wizard of Fauci and the COVID issue become a non-issue? You remember that? You remember our children having to stay at home from school, people having to work from home, travel restricted, supply and demand weren't meshing together because of restrictions and mandates from state to state. Airlines were struggling. Businesses couldn't even staff themselves. And those that could, the cost of products drove the prices up. Do you remember all of that? That was due to COVID. Well, now we have a situation that I'm going to call the Octane Variant. Not the Delta, not the Omicron, but the Octane Variant. You see, the cost of fuel will end up causing people to have to work from home. Businesses will suffer from staffing because a lot of your fast food restaurants and dine-in restaurants are run with primarily part-time staffing. They're struggling to get by now. Some of those people actually have full-time jobs other places and work part-time jobs, try to make up the money. It's just not going to happen, guys. People won't be able to afford to work in those businesses. Places like Walmart, they employ a lot of part-time employees. That's going to hurt. Then you have supply and demand. The cost of fuel for truckers, the cost of shipping in general is going to skyrocket. Now, that cost is going to be passed on to we, the consumers, for the prices of the goods we buy. Again, schools will have trouble busing children to school. That's going to cause an issue. Schools are going to have a hard time getting supplies. That's going to cause an issue. Travel is going to be an issue because people won't be able to afford the gas to travel very much. So travel will, in essence, be restricted. People dining out, now, these restaurants are really going to hurt. People's going to have to prioritize. They're going to have to pick between their filet mignon and their hibachi bars and putting fuel in their car. So restaurants will take a real hit. Again, here locally, there's been several restaurants closed that probably won't be back. And again, they can't blame this on science. It won't work again. This has to do with political decisions, policy decisions that's been made that we're going to have to suffer through. And then to top off the Octane Variant, your municipalities, your cities, your counties, your law enforcement, EMS, fire, road departments, they're going to have to cut services. Or, what's more likely to happen is raise taxes, property taxes, payroll taxes. You may even see a change in your sales taxes before it's over, because they'll have to compensate for the cost of fuel. Guys, the whole COVID situation and now the oil situation, the effects have too many similarities, potential similarities, to be solely coincidence. I don't believe it. I don't think it's a coincidence. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's just Russia invading Ukraine that's causing the issue. I think there's a deeper plan involving other nations, primarily NATO-affiliated nations, if you'll notice their response to this whole situation. Could it be that this is just an attempt to crash economies, cause more suffering, cause people to actually self-impose restrictions, i.e. travel, buying the little luxury things, the little extra things. Could this be an attempt by several governmental bodies to crash economies, to bring up a one world economy? Because no one will ever make me believe that Russia couldn't have just gone into Ukraine and crushed them. This has been drawn out too long. There's too much back and forth. There's too much NATO's going to help, NATO's not going to help, Putin threatened nukes. Guys, there's more to this than just Russia invading Ukraine. It goes deeper. It's more diabolical. So we will suffer from the Octane variant. We haven't seen anything yet, but it's coming. And it's coming sooner than we think it is. But as always, that's just my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt. This is Howlin' Sarge. I'm out.